Another 1.5 million jobless last week. That's going to bring the total up to 46 million jobs lost just in the past 13 weeks. That's the 13th straight week that claims have totaled over a million. Where is the V-shaped recovery? Is there going to be a recovery? Hey everybody, JJ here. You're watching Bull to the Bust. It is Thursday. Almost got the date wrong. Thursday, June 18th. Thank you for joining me. Welcome to today's update. As we continue to document the, let's call this the hang time before the drop. They're doing everything they can to keep this economy propped up, from keeping everything from imploding. Without the Fed intervention, without the stimulus, the extra unemployment benefits, without the moratorium on foreclosures and evictions, and the paused credit card payments, and people actually now needing help on their utility bills. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. With all this intervention, without all this help, you would see absolute devastation and destruction throughout the country, and you would see probably tent cities on every block. Let's go to a chart right here. This is still out of CNBC. As you can see, the numbers are getting less worse, but this is still absolute devastation. Over a million jobs again last week. So the jobless nightmare continues, but it's okay because you see the government, they can just print more money via the Fed, and we can also just extend those unemployment benefits, maybe increase the unemployment benefits. I mean, what are they going to do? Send out more stimulus checks? Well, maybe. A recent article here out of CNBC, another round of $1,200 stimulus checks, a more targeted plan to get money to those who need it the most. Excerpt out of this article here: if Dems get their way, a second batch of checks would be deployed to qualifying Americans. That's based on the HEROES Act it passed back in May. Those payments are going to be similar to the first round of $1,200 per individual or $2,400 per married couple checks. And this time it's going to be even bigger if you have dependents. Now instead of $500 per dependent, it's going to be $1,200 per dependent. So if my math adds up correctly here, a family of 5 would get about $7,000 under the stimulus check. Right, so let's just pause for a second. If we were in this amazing V-shaped recovery, why are we talking about more stimulus checks? Things are not getting better. We have over 100 million missed loan payments in the month of May, and that's up from the month of April. Wall Street Journal, recent article: Americans skip millions of loan payments as the virus takes its toll. Over 100 million people missed their loan payments in the month of May. Absolute devastation. Can you imagine what this economy would look like, what this country would look like if it were not for the forbearances, for the delays in allowing people to skip their payments? What's going to happen when this ends? This will not last forever. This is going to end very, very badly. Excerpt out of this article: Americans have skipped out on more than 100 million student loan, auto loans, and other forms of debt since the virus hit. The number of accounts that enrolled in deferment, forbearance, or some other type of relief since March 1st have now risen to 106 million people at the end of May. That is triple the number at the end of April. Triple the number from April to May. Triple the number of deferments, forbearances, and delays on loans. So you tell me, is this going to get better anytime soon, or is this whole economic bubble just being propped up for the near term? So I'm really wondering, what kind of tricks, what other rabbits can they pull out of the hat to keep this economy propped up? What other benefits can they push out to the public? Well, how's about this? How's about a new stimulus package that would include a $4,000 vacation credit? And this is out of fox5ny.com. The White House has endorsed an idea to give Americans a tax credit to be used towards a vacation to help boost the economy. And it's going to be called the Explore America credit. Now, this is not finalized yet, but think about this. So we want to encourage people to go on vacation, and that's supposed to help the economy. So people going out, spending money, getting hotels, probably going to amusement parks, Disneyland, SeaWorld, all those places. That's supposed to help the economy. So the people that are employed at these places, how many of them are making minimum wage? I'm guessing it's a lot of the people. So if this was going to help the economy, why stop at $4,000? Why not give a $40,000 vacation credit? And everybody can go out, everybody can take the day off work or the week or the month off work and just go on vacations and spend all the money from the government. And that's the key to a great economy. But also, back to all the skipped loan payments. Why not just make it permanent? Why not just erase everybody's debt? Why not just permanently freeze all the payments? No one has to make any more payments on their debt. So if this is a good temporary solution, why not just make it permanent? Because we cannot continue like this forever. There's going to be a time when they're going to have to try to get things back to normal. They cannot keep over 100 million loans from being paid. Can you imagine what it's going to look like when these loans become due? It's going to be absolute destruction, devastation, right? The debt has finally caught up to us. And there's not going to be a pain-free way out of this. You see, the United States, we've lived above our means for a long, long time. The ability to go out and get into endless amounts of debt, for the government to just come in and rescue things when people could no longer make their payments. It's absolute destruction that's just being delayed right now. In my opinion, this is the hang time before the huge drop into the abyss. Now, I think a lot of Americans are beginning to realize how dire of a situation that we're in. When everybody relies on some sort of assistance or a freezing of their debt payments or some government check, while some people may be perfectly fine with that, I think a lot of people don't feel secure when they know that they're dependent on some sort of handout or assistance or some government check. A recent poll here, drawing on trends from the long-running General Social Survey, finds Americans are less likely to call themselves very happy at any point since 1972. Now, I think this probably goes way beyond economics. There's a lot of social, a lot of geopolitical things happening right now, a lot of tensions. Of course, we have unrest. And if you look at the dark blue line, this huge drop off here starting in about 2018, going into 2019, into 2020, that was people that call themselves very happy. That is the big noticeable drop off. So we reported on it here. There's a lot more people now in depression, a lot more people choosing to end their own lives and leave this world, leave this earth. And I think this was especially exaggerated or especially made a lot worse after the shutdown occurred. Also, optimism about children's future dips. Another study finds that 4 in 10 Americans expect their children to have a better standard of living than they do, the lowest share saying so since the question was first asked back in 1994. So people are afraid for their kids. It seems like we're on the path where the Fed is just going to buy everything. The Fed is going to be the buyer and lender of last resort. Right? Are we all going to be slaves to the Fed? That's what it seems to me what's going to be happening. Right? It's already that most people are in debt for most of their lives, if not all of their life. What is going to break this cycle? We're going to have to see an economic collapse, a reset. And again, I think they're waiting for the perfect time to let this fall, to let this go, to stop all the handouts and let it crash. Some people are calling it a reset. Some people are saying it's going to be a collapse. Other people say it's going to be more of a transition into a new type of system. There's a lot of theories out there, but all I know is we better prepare for the worst. Continue to prepare. And I'll say it again, one of my biggest fears is the next event that's going to come out. And I think it could be some sort of power grid failure, maybe an outage, maybe a banking system outage where no one can get money. And you think there's unrest now and dangers now in this country, just wait until that happens. Prepare. Everybody, thank you for watching this report. Bye for now.